All right, well, welcome to another episode of Between Sundays. Excited that you tuned in to listen to our podcast. My name is Jonathan Freed. I'm the worship pastor here at Rainbow. I usually have some coffee or tea or something. Tonight, I don't have anything. I think it's just too late. This is a late night recording here with my good friend, brother in Christ, Jay Lance, man of many talents.
Or none.
Yeah. No, I think many talents. And we're excited to sit down with Jay, talk to him about kids and children worship and why that is so important. And maybe if you keep listening to the end, you might be able to find out his favorite song, his favorite artist. I don't know. You have to keep on listening to get that little piece of information. But Jay, glad you're here, man. Thanks for taking the time to sit down with me.
Well, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, why don't you start just by introducing yourself, telling people your various roles in the church, maybe how you came to Rainbow, and just so that people can get to know you a little bit.
Sure. So, as Pastor John said, I'm Jay Lance. I am first and foremost a believer in Christ, obviously, and I've been at Rainbow Forest now. I was trying to figure this out about 11 years, I think. Not sure exactly when we started coming,
okay.
But when we started at Rainbow, we had moved to Roanoke and seeking out a church that was obviously Bible-centered, God-fearing. And we were challenged in doing so, in our opinion. And we kept driving by this one church. We could see a steeple, but it had no sign.
That's true.
And there was no sign. We didn't know what church this was on Naamantown Road.
Are they Baptist?
And
are they?
We really could not tell. And so by process of elimination, we figured out the name of the church at least. And then we checked it out, saw the website, saw the doctrinal statement, some of the things that we would be interested in, obviously. And then we saw the pastor's name, and it said Mike Grooms. And I said, I had a professor at Liberty named J.O. Grooms. I wonder if there's a relation. Mm. And it turned out that was Mike's father, who was one of my professors in 1979 at
What was
Liberty.
The subject, man? Come on, you got to remember.
Personal evangelism.
Oh,
personal
right.
evangelism.
Good for you.
And so, yeah, it was really good. It didn't know him. It was a class of 500 kids. But because of that, we just knew that there was going to be a certain doctrinal and foundation that we liked. And then we visited, and when we heard Mike speak, we spoke from similar experiences and backgrounds, and we just felt at home, and have been here ever since. So in my present capacity, I serve as a elder at the church, a pastor elder in a lay capacity. I am on the personnel committee. I am on the finance committee. Just started teaching a Wednesday evening men's Bible study. Tonight was the kickoff for that, and I'm first and foremost, probably my favorite role is what I do downstairs, which I've been doing, I think, since Pastor Jeff started, so ask him when that began. It began in the chapel up here, but I do the children's music each and every Sunday for a couple of groups.
Yeah, so that's awesome. First, thank you for your service. It's
a pleasurable
not
service.
The building, but to the Lord. Definitely serving the Lord, and so we appreciate you serving in all those roles. Why don't you kind of tell us just what, for me even, because I've seen you on Family Sundays. It's exciting. We have a Family Sunday coming up this Sunday, but tell those who have never been downstairs to see you lead worship with the kids, what it's like. Just kind of walk us through what that's like.
I guess I would call it organized pandemonium. is the best I can say. I've been doing music with children a long time, and we can talk about that a little bit later. But we start off. I start off with I believe they're the 4th to 6th graders. I call them the older kids. I'm never sure what group. And then I move from there to the kindergarten to 3rd grade. And actually starting, I believe this week, I will also be doing a younger group even, the toddlers, which is kind of one of my favorites, actually.
Sure.
But basically go in and there's usually 20 to 30 kids in each of those groups. And to keep kids' attention, you've got to keep it.
It's a skill, man.
Moving.
It is a skill.
And so one of the things that's been great is now, having done it so many years, I've done with their older brothers and sisters, now down to them. They're familiar with me, first of all, and I do the music that they like. I typically don't even have to structure it anymore. I just go and say, "What do you want to sing today?" And my repertoire or my collection of songs is a couple hundred that I can just do without having the music in front of me,
Sure.
which you have to be able to interact with the kids. And there's never a lack of hands going up with their favorite song that they would like to sing.
Yeah.
One of the things I've done, which any of the parents will certainly know this well, is I've done it since my children were little, is giving out guitar picks.
I was gonna ask.
Okay, so
I've seen guitar picks around the church.
Everywhere.
Yeah, Carver's come home with a guitar pick.
yeah, it's a fun thing. I don't even know when it started. Actually, just I realize kids like to interact with things, and they like something tangible. And so with the younger kids, so you say, what does it look like? So the younger kids, you've got to get that room in order first of all and get their attention.
Sure.
So first thing I do is I walk in the room and I'll just be jabbering like I am now, talking to the leaders, having some fun, and I will out of the blue just say, "Attend, hut!" And you think, what happens then? If you come down and watch that, and I would love you to come down and watch that, every kid in that room stands at attention. And then I go into my speech.
I would assume that there would be some sort of training to get them to that point.
Absolutely. Well, the first kid at attention gets a guitar pick. And
there you
we
go.
have
I
have a case of guitar picks. I mean, everything from Spike the Bulldog to the Shark pick,
Sure.
to the you name it. It's a blast, and they know attention. And by the way, part of my speech is there's no smiling in church. We are not here to have fun. This is military. You are at attention, and then we sing the Lord's Army.
Sure.
And we do the yes sir, and very strict with that. And it gets the room in order. And then after that, we be seated, and I say, "What would you like to sing next?" And they're all very interactive songs, jumping up and down, shout Hosanna.
Yeah.
We're on chairs. We're jumping off of chairs. I took one kid out with my guitar. I really did one week. We jumped at the same time, and he still goes to this church.
It's very safe downstairs.
It was
Don't
actually,
worry,
it's
very
actually
safe.
Cassie's son, so they have forgiven me. And the kid's got a hard head. But no, it really is a lot of fun. And the younger kids, we tend to do more of the interactive songs. Move up to the older kids, we go into more of the praise and worship songs. Although
Sure.
I do the younger kids with that too, so that when they're coming on stage, they're familiar.
Yeah.
And it's a variety. And I'm usually 15 to 20 minutes with each group.
Yeah.
And sometimes longer. It helps the teachers out if it gives them a little bit of a break. So
Sure, yeah.
it never looks the same twice, but it is always the same spirit within it, and that's really bringing them into true worship to Christ. And one of the things we do is we don't just sing a song. You say, "What do you give a guitar pick at?" Maybe it's for standing up at attention. Sometimes it's for jumping the highest. If the devil doesn't like it, he can sit on attack during "I've Got the Joy, Joy, Joy." Sometimes I will just stop in the middle of a song and say, "Wait, you just sang this. Somebody explain that to me.
Mean? Sure.
What does it mean? Now is the time to worship, or every knee will bow, or every tongue will confess."
Sure.
And I look for a good answer, and I will also encourage them to talk to their parents about that on the way home. So
Yeah,
lots
that's
of very interactive, because worship is much more, obviously, as you know more than anybody.
Absolutely.
Worship is much more than music.
Involves your whole life, everything
got
that you
it.
do. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Well, that's cool. It's cool to see that action take place in the kid's life, and then to tie that into theology too, and like help start kids off as early as you can with the right way to think about worship and the right way to do worship. That kind of leads into maybe the next question of like, why do you enjoy leading worship with kids? I think some people would be like, I'd love to play guitar and sing, but in front of like 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, like, no way, that's not for me. So why is it important for you to do this?
I'll try to give the godly answer to that, but I will give the selfish answer to that. They're sponges. They are sponges, and they respond and react to it. And so, as an example, Christmas time comes. What do you guys want to sing? And they'll inevitably raise their hand and say, "Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer," or Frosty the Snowman. And by the way, I can play all those songs. I do play them for my grandchildren.
Sure.
And I will actually start the song, and I will just stop. I'll go, "Rudolph. Oh, wait a minute. I don't think that song talks about Jesus. I can't do that. That's not a song that we're going to do here, because my goal here is to help them to worship and to teach them about Christ. And everything we do glorifies God. And one of the things that my guitar is used for is to glorify God. And that's a personal commitment I've made. I will not use it to glorify man, to glorify anything else. And so,
Glorify yourself.
but I teach them that. So I will tease, and I will go into a quick lick on it, and I go, oh, no, we can't do that.
Yeah.
And I, by the way, don't even really play those for my grandkids either, because they don't have any depth or substance or meaning.
Sure.
So why do I do it? Selfishly, because they respond. I will often, on a way here on a Sunday, go, yeah, I don't know if I'm really in the mood. And I get in a room with 20, 30 kids, and that energy,
Changes
and next
it.
thing I'm jumping off chairs,
Yeah.
and my spirit is lifted. So that's the selfish side. It encourages me. People say, oh, thank you for serving. I said, it's not serving. They're as much serving me as I'm serving them.
Sure. Yeah.
On the other side of it is, I've been doing this since my children were little, so that's coming on 40 years. And I have their children and
Yeah.
their children coming and remembering and still singing some of the same songs.
Yeah.
Mr. Lands taught us that. And I'm like, well, that was 30 years ago. So obviously there is eternal reward in that. We are
Absolutely.
planting seeds. We are building up crowns in heaven for sharing the gospel in this way and implanting it into their lives.
Yeah.
And frankly, I want them to enjoy coming to church. I don't
Yeah.
want it to be a burden. I want it to be, can't wait to get there. This is what we're going to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I love how you mentioned the worship aspect of it and the internality of it. It's planting seeds for the kingdom of God, and the kids they're sponges. They soak things in so much, and it's awesome to hear you talk about your passion for right teaching, singing songs that glorify God, and not just being nonchalant about it, coming in, singing songs, leaving, but really investing in the children and investing in the families. How would you encourage families, since you've been in that journey yourself with family, grandkids? How would you encourage families, maybe even fathers, spiritual leaders of their house, to worship together? I think sometimes, we'll let Mr. J take care of the worship and then come home. Well, we'll just wait till Wednesday till he can do it, or Sunday till he can do it again. So what would your encouragement be to families, specifically the spiritual leaders of the house, to continue to build upon what you're already doing? Because I'm imagining that you're wanting to just pair with families to help
100%.
them teach worship and lead themselves.
So I would answer it this way, and I'm often encouraged too by the children. So Pastor Jonathan will often challenge me and say, hey, maybe teach the kids this song to do on a family Sunday. And I
Sorry.
say, oh, I don't know that one, and I don't want to learn it. But
And we'll just come up with the band and do it.
that's right, exactly. But what I will do, what we'll often do is say, do you kids know this song? And I will encourage, hey, be listening to praise music. That should be the radio station.
Or
that's
ask your
on.
parents to listen.
That's
Yeah.
what exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm also really encouraged by the families of this church who seem to already be engaging in that, because
Absolutely.
I just asked them about a song that I know from years ago. Who knows this song? And several kids say, I know that song. And I'm like, really? Because that's not even one that's played that often, which means the families are putting that in their ear during the week, whether it's around the house, whether it's in the car. So I would encourage especially the dads as leaders in the home, to do that. Put the radio on. Have some fun with them. If you don't play a musical instrument, you don't need to. You can just pop it up on YouTube. There's all kinds of things. If you do play a musical instrument, I need a break. So come on in and do this. But you will find that they absorb it so well, and it comes back to them many, many years later. So.
Yeah. We're preparing our kids for Mr. J. Every time they go to school, before preschool or kindergarten, we play to YouTube. We pull up YouTube, like, hey, listen, I play guitar all the time, but in the mornings it gets kind of crazy fast. Just pop on the YouTube, and we have
Hard to pour milk and play the guitar
Yeah,
at the same
exactly.
time.
I might try it, but
I'm past
I don't
those
want to
days.
pour
But
milk on my guitar. I don't want to risk that. But just pop up some YouTube songs with the hand motions and stuff, and they love it. They especially love it when the mom and dad join in, not only to singing, but the hand motions, because you're getting on their level, and they're seeing that, oh, dad and mom get excited about this. I can get excited about this too. And so that really makes an impact. But love that. Yeah, love that. Well, great, man. Is there anything else you just want to share about family worship, kids worship, why you do what you do?
No, I think we've covered a lot of it. I will say, though, to the parents and kind of some people will ask me, where did you learn that song? Or that I never heard Zacchaeus. They've heard of Zacchaeus was a wee little man, not I'm short and fat and I'm not too pretty kind of thing. and again,
it's a J special.
And one of the things is, well, who's your favorite artist? And it's not who you would think. The man is named the Donut Man. And if you've never seen the Donut Man, parents, and I really mean this, pull him up on YouTube. He's old now.
Is he the guy who dressed up real fancy? Like,
am
I thinking of?
No, he wore overalls.
Nope, not.
And he
not
had
the
a
same
little
person I'm thinking of.
Puppet called Duncan. My daughter was actually on stage with him once. But one of the things that really got me into this was when our kids, we homeschooled. So when they were needing a break and mom was needing a break, we popped in. It was a VCR tape at the time, but we popped in a VCR tape of the Donut Man. Yeah, I'll explain that to you later. and I started watching this man just do these kids songs that he had written that really good gospel messages, good solid theology in them, but that kids responded to. And I got his songbook, and I'm like, I can play that, I can do that. And so probably 80% of the songs I do are his. And I encourage parents, look it up and use that, because they're tools, or anybody modern. But as you said, put it on for them and fill their heads with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. All right, one last question. Favorite song of all time. If you could listen to one song, one song only,
that changes
for the rest of your life.
That changes.
What would it be?
Do you want me to say one that you wrote or something? Is that where we're at?
One that I wrote. Those aren't coming out yet.
Okay. No. Wow.
That would be a non-existent song.
Wow. Well, my favorite adult artist. So the Donut Man is my favorite kids artist.
No, you already said Donut Man's your favorite artist. You can't change it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Just about anything by Keith Green. He passed away in 1982. So long. So Oh Lord, You're Beautiful. That's one of my favorite songs. Boy, you name it. Yes, absolutely. So many. We're going to do the closing song this Sunday, The Goodness of God. That one,
it's a good one.
That one touched me at a time that I needed that. That, my father, my friend, a couple of years ago, and I said, I just have to learn that song. So I would say that's why, and surprisingly, the kids ask for that one almost every week.
Yeah.
Some kid raised their hands. Can we do The Goodness of God? And I say, sure. It's really high for me, but that's okay. We'll do it. And so I would say, modern wise, that song is a song that I could listen to over and over, because the words reach into me that he's been faithful all my life.
Absolutely.
And I'm in my 60s, and I can look back and say there's never been a time that he hasn't been faithful. So that one just really grabs me, and it got me out of a dark spot 2 years ago. It got me out quickly, by the way. I said, I just got to learn that song and sing it over and over, and now it's become a favorite.
Yeah.
So.
Psalm 23, goodness, mercy will follow me all the days of my life, and I'll dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
Amen.
Great. Awesome. Well, that's a good place to close up, I think, on the goodness of God. Jay, thanks so much for coming on and sharing your heart and your thoughts about kids worship. We love having you lead down there, and I know the kids love it even more, which I think is the most important thing. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you next time on Between Sundays.